Hey, it's me, Silver the Wack. Let's see how long this gets today. Hopefully not so long, since I posted the story, rain story video last night. I didn't check if anyone had watched it or something, but it's posted. It's fine. If I feel like doing one of those, I will. If I don't, then I won't. That's just how it goes. Since this isn't monetized or anything, and I'm just doing it just for the hell of it. Really. Yeah. So today I have the Peaky Blinders mug with my coffee, and it's raining, and it's so lovely. It's so good. Oh my god. Yes. See, I don't want to get into many details, but I will be averting from sharing personal information. I've already been doing that and telling stories about my grandma, my relatives who are no longer with us, and folk tales and all that. I don't think is personal information about myself. I guess I just said that I am from a rural context, which is true, and I don't think that's extremely personal information. It's just kind of obvious, since I could feel like filming a vlog outside, and it would be obvious that I was in a rural context, and then since I have that pesky need to over-explain, I would just say, hey, I live in rural mountains, whatever the hell. But because of that video that was for some reason recommended to me, and when I say for some reason, I mean for some reason, since I don't even follow that creator. I don't think, at least. Let me pause and check. Well, turns out I did. No idea why. Since it doesn't seem like the type of person I would follow. Maybe they did something that piqued my interest. Now I'm really curious. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's likely because of my friend who lives in Korea. Who probably sent me something from this creator, and I just hit subscribe mindlessly and then forgot. Because I really did not remember that creator at all. And then I clicked the video, and I was looking at the comments, and ooh, boy. Yeah, that's really not a topic that someone should bring to the internet, because the internet is full of people, and it's a wonderful place where everyone can say anything. And it's also a terrible place where everyone can say anything. So yeah, basically I did not like the implications of what someone said, and yeah, if that person is still watching, please don't say that kind of thing to people. Like, it's not hateful, it's fine, I guess, depending on who you're saying that to, but just be mindful because the implications are very bad. Yes, just a little word of advice, you know. Just call me ugly, call me weird, call me whatever, man. Just, but that's no. Like, general hate comments, I'll just delete them, shadow ban the user, whatever the hell YouTube allows me to do, so that uh, I'm left alone with my mediocre existence and just, you know, drinking my coffee and chatting in my little budget therapy sessions. Because let's face it, that's what this is. Since I'm putting myself out there, and there isn't the safety of shrink's office and the one-on-one thing is kind of bad. Sometimes when you want to get something across, but it's also like better since, you know, at most the shrink will be bad and you can just, yeah, so long and never again. You know what I'm saying? That's yeah, that's my takeaway from this whole thing. Like, that's why I say and feel like I don't want a huge audience. Like, I know that it would be ideal to be monetized and all that because I have tuition to pay and I'm really stressed about that, but I don't have any real talents. I will not create drama in order to draw attention because I don't want to become mocked online again. The last time it was over fandom things, not something that I did like. And I know that I am quote unquote aesthetically challenged. I really hate that. That's why I keep repeating it because it's just so unhinged to even think that saying something like that about someone else is in any way, shape, or form acceptable. Like, and using the excuse that it's a bad person, so it's fine. Like, yeah, people who you wouldn't consider bad, under your idea of bad, can also look like that. And you calling them ugly by extension just because they happen to look like the bad person that you're criticizing. So, yeah, maybe a little self-reflection would go a long way. Yeah. I don't want to stir up drama. This is just something that was part of this channel, me, my existence from day one. Like, I have a terrible impression of myself. I'm not saying this to get pity or to get compliments or anything. Some people disagree. I'm thankful for that. I've been trying to be thankful for that kind of comment. even if it's hard for me to believe it, due to all the years where I would, be called weird, exotic, strange, odd. What are you? Yeah. It's just, yeah, it's tough, it's tough to unlearn something that's it's so deeply ingrained in you and your self perception. But this rain is so nice, isn't it? It's really nice. I mean, I only became aware of this commentary side of videos content recently, right? Because I started playing long videos in the background as noise. To have someone speak and not be distracted by music, for example. Because even jazz or, things that people would consider ambient music distract me, because I love music, and jazz and blues and classical music happen to be some of my favorite genres. So I would just stop and enjoy the music. So yeah. It was a bit better with music in languages I don't understand. But the thing is that most of those songs are pop songs. So the beat is always and when you're trying to focus and stuff, that really isn't ideal, to me anyway. When I'm trying to focus on something, that's not ideal. So I decided to start listening to these commentary videos, just passively. Sometimes something caught my ear and I would go and check and see what the hell they were talking about. Who the hell was this? I've became aware of so many people I had no idea existed and was such a huge talking point online. For someone who is online, I really am out of the loop. While being in the loop, I am in the loop. Just not that loop. I don't know much about celebrities. I don't know much about internet personalities. And yeah. The point is that I started listening to those commentary videos. Right. And I just go for a couple. Pun, a couple of creators who don't over sensationalize. I could say that. Yeah, I could say that. Don't over sensationalize whatever topic they're talking about. And have a nuanced perspective on whatever's happening, because and I realized this yesterday. Growing up, I didn't really like to be devil's advocate. I did not like to be on the fence. I did not like to be in between, because to me that was bad. That was a bad thing. it was something that I was forced to do, and being autistic and having ADHD, I also have the that thing that I always forget the name of, when you made to do something you don't want to do it. um, which sounds really bratty and stupid, but it is what it is, and it's more common than you think. There's another thing that I have, which is rejection sensitive dysphoria, which I'm not entirely sure exactly where it stems from, but it might be from the CPTSD, because, or I don't know, it could be from so many things, since these things tend to come in packs, and I have a whole shopping list of, you know, diagnoses. It's like there's a main one, and then there's like 3 main ones, and then there's the things that are related to them, because that's how it works, at least where I'm from. When I was diagnosed, rather, and when I returned to this country, yeah, it's the same thing. But the rejection thing is like when something we do is rejected, we take it as a rejection of us as a person, right? It's not that we can't take no for an answer, it's that the no feels like, yep, I suck, I should not exist, my entire existence is bad, and everything I do is rubbish, and yeah. So that's why we get so reactive when something negative is said about something we did. Like, it's not exactly the criticism, it's the self-perception. I'm speaking for myself, obviously. When I speak about these things, I'm only speaking for myself. Okay. And yeah, let me pause and check. Yeah. So it's related to ADHD mostly, and emotional regulation. Which in my case, yeah, stems from other things. That's why I can't really just say, yeah, it's because I have ADHD. No, it's made worse by the other things. The other thing is called PDA, which doesn't mean public display of affection. It means pathological demand avoidance, I think. Which means, and that one I think is actually just related to ADHD. If we are forced to do something that we don't want, we just don't do it, or we feel really angry that we have to do it. And that's where I wanted to get to when I was talking about why I don't like being in between and playing devil's advocate, because I was made to do that, and I didn't want to do that. And I was made to be there when I didn't want to be there. Like, yeah, the feelings of like belonging and not belonging, and the whole thing about identity. Yeah, those are things that I've come to realize that, it is what it is. And it's not so bad to be devil's advocate sometimes. And that's what I was saying regarding the commentary creators. Like when they're very angry or very black and white, I started feeling I don't really have a word for this feeling. Just, why are you so angry? You don't know this person. Why are you so angry? It felt misplaced. And I've said it before and will say it again. Like, these vlogs are just, when I was younger and there were those YouTubers who just turned on the camera and spoke to it, I was not creating anything. I was just consuming whatever was online, like music videos, AMVs, that kind of thing. Cascada AMVs and stuff like that. But what was I even saying? The rain is so nice. So is this coffee, by the way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, at the time there were no commentary channels. People just turned on the camera and spoke to it. There wasn't like drama, so to speak. Of course, some of those original creators became terrible people once the monetization thing started. And there are very little of the original ones who are still around and don't suck majorly. So yeah, I'm very glad that I never ventured into creating anything when I was younger and just started these therapy like vlogs, budget things, like going full circle. Because when you're when you're putting yourself out there, you open yourself up to criticism and stuff like that. And yeah, of course, I will not engage with that and make whole videos about it. I will just quietly delete and move along, because I don't want to become a spectacle, and I don't want to end up on a commentary channel. Let's hope that this doesn't come back to haunt me. I really, yeah. It really scares me, the prospect of that, because, I already don't have a good perception of myself. And that comes from the rejection sensitive, dysphoria thing, I suppose. I don't know. And also my experiences growing up. but I have learned that being on the fence is not that bad. And the creators who are on the fence are the ones that I put in the background when I'm, doing my little crochet or whatever the hell I'm doing in my free time. So, yeah. I don't like people who scream in my ears. I don't like overly angry people. Like, even though I have some anger issues, obviously, emotional regulation. It's part of the pack. Unfortunately, I've been working on it, but without proper guidance, it's hard. But yeah, someone was commenting about the breathing exercises. Oh, shoosh. What the hell? What was this? Because I have one of these and it was stuck somewhere. The plastic thing that came with it snapped, and I made a makeshift one with the bracelet of a broken watch. This is rubber. And I stuck it to the plastic of that came with the lanyard thing. It looks like absolute garbage, but it does the job, and it was sewn. See, so it's extra secure now. I say this, and tomorrow I'll be back. Not tomorrow. On Tuesday I'll be back and be like, guess who just snapped the lanyard thing again. Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully that won't happen. Happened. Anyway, let's do the breathing exercise. And someone was saying that Western culture really overlooks that, and I agree. So we will do the box breathing.
Relax and get comfortable. Focus on your breathing. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. 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 Well done.
Okay. Let's repeat that. We're getting to 30 minutes, so why not?
Relax and get comfortable.
Yes.
Focus on your breathing. Breathe in. Hold.
There we go. It's working, isn't it? Drinking coffee and yawning in the afternoon. Guess it's working. I have a story for you today. Maybe I do. I think I do. I have one. An old one. One that my grandma also told, but I've heard elsewhere. So, yeah, it's not one of grandma's exclusives. Though, of course, they're not exclusives because she had to hear them from someone. So, yeah. But some of them are not recorded anywhere, so I have to assume that they're very local. Or at least not exactly recorded for one reason or the other, I don't know. I just know that I would like to go around and ask all the people who still have their memories intact to tell me stories and then record those stories. I really would like to do that. That's something I really would enjoy doing. Finish this and I'll tell you the story of the stone soup. Maybe there's a version of this story in whatever language you speak, whatever languages you speak, since it's a teaching story. It's funny, but it's a teaching story. I'm here. Before I go on, I wanted to show the thing that I was making yesterday. Yeah, it was another pencil case. Seems like that's my speciality now. Especially because I haven't sold anything. This was advertised as a case for storing crochet hooks and stuff, but I don't think it's good for that because it has holes in it. The pattern has holes in it. So I'm not entirely sure what they meant by storing crochet hooks, but yeah, this is not it. I would call this a pencil case because it would be unlikely that a pencil or something would poke through one of these little holes. Also, the person used a sewing needle, and also I may have done something wrong because mine turned out smaller. Like this part on top was a lot smaller, so I had to pinch the sides and then sew the zipper, since it didn't start from the zipper like this one. This one started from the zipper, which is obvious from the little things attached to the zipper. But the person used a regular needle. I used the tapestry needle and attached it like that, and was lucky enough that the sides of the zipper were wide enough to like go from one side to the other. But it's still kind of wonky. You know. it is what it is. I also started the top thing that I'm making for my mum. This is the color. I hope that she likes the color. I really, 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 really do. Because I will be very, very sad if she doesn't. I mean, she has a jumper that is this color, so I suppose she won't hate it. Yeah, I have to make 2 panels of this. I already got 2 rolls of this. I hope they are enough, but yeah. For the time being, that's it. I just sharing the crochet adventures before I tell the story and leave. So I have this old fella, and I made him little crochet overalls with the rest of the yarn that was left over from the pencil case, and I made another one of those Simple Daisy bookmarks with what was left of the yarn, since it was just enough for one of those, not much else. There's a little bit of it still. This thing that I'm wearing, like this part, I think is crochet for sure, but the sleeves, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it could be, but it doesn't look like it. Maybe it's one of those made to look like knitting crochet techniques that I'm not very familiar with, because I also knit, so why would I want to make crochet look like knitting? Maybe because crocheting is quicker, I guess. This yeah, I mean, it looks like crochet. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I just didn't making that very clear. Let me pause and stretch my legs. I'm back, and this won't drag out much longer. Like, I will just tell the story and clock out from this session of silver is wack and does nothing. So this story is a folk tale. I imagine that it could exist in other forms in other places, but in this mental translation, I will call it the stone soup. And the story goes like this. Once upon a time, there was a priest who was traveling and spreading the word of Jesus through the villages. And he was very poor. And he relied on people's charity to survive and find lodging and a plate of food, some bread, some drink, some soup. Basic things that people offer people who are hungry. And so he chanced upon a village where people were very stingy, and he asked them if he could stay and have a plate of soup. And they said, no, you can't have anything unless you pay for it. And he said, well, I can't pay for it because I have no money. I am simply spreading the word of the Lord. And they said, well, then you won't eat. And so he said, well, if you bring me all these ingredients, I will make you a stone soup. A soup of stone. And they were intrigued by it. What would a stone soup be? A soup made of stones? Made with stones, rather. And so they said, sure, okay, we'll bring you all these things if you show us this stone soup you speak of. And in their curiosity, they brought him lard, meats, vegetables, a bunch of things. And what he did, it was he grabbed a rock, a stone, from the floor. He washed it, very well washed, put it inside the pot, added the water, added the ingredients, made the soup. Everyone had the plate, including himself. Everyone enjoyed the soup very much. And then at the end, the stone was inside the pot, the empty pot. And everyone was looking at it and asked them, what about the stone? It didn't do anything to the soup. What will you do with the stone? And the priest just said, well, now I will grab this stone, I will wash it, I will take it with me, and if I chance upon stingy people like you again, I will use it again. Yeah. Sorry about the stammering and the pauses in the middle. Yeah, it's a story about stingy people and piquing people's curiosity in order to get them to do what they should, which would be being charitable to someone who's hungry, regardless of what they're doing. Like, he wasn't doing anything, he was just preaching. The story, when it's told, it's not told like this was a nuisance priest. It was just someone who was going around spreading the word of Jesus, not exactly converting anyone, just kind of a hermit, you know. Not exactly a beggar, just someone who was traveling the world and seeing the world and spreading the word of Jesus and stuff like that. That's how the story is framed from the way I've heard it. And it's about tricking people who are stingy. Stingy. I think that's how you pronounce it. If it's not, then it's fine. But yeah. That's the story for today. Clearly this was not made for me or by me. I just got it as a hand-me-down and I liked it. I'm not sure if this is meant to be like this. I think it is meant to be like this. It's warm enough, but breezy enough not to be too warm. This is an interesting stitch. I don't know what the hell it's called, but it's an interesting stitch. But yeah, let's get to 47 minutes, I suppose, since that's the atomic number of silver. But yeah, well, I hope that your weekend was good, and I hope that tomorrow is also good, and that this week is not a pain, that nobody bothers you, that everything goes well. Honestly, that's always what I wish for. And yeah, I will have a meeting on Wednesday. Homie knows this, and yeah, thank you for being here. That's it, that's enough, and that's all. But I'll be back, and that's a threat. Bye bye.